One day, a man woke up on a strange island. He was tied up from head to toe with hundreds of tiny ropes. Confused and angry, Gulliver shouted loudly and easily pulled the ropes and stood up, thinking he must be dreaming. A tiny general rode toward him. The general fired tiny arrows at him while dozens of little soldiers threw hooks attached to ropes and pulled on him with all their strength. Gulliver lost his balance, fell to the ground, and passed out. When he woke up, he was tied to a huge cart and slowly taken into the kingdom of the tiny people. Thousands of people came out to see him because they had never seen a human so large. They looked at him as if he were a giant monster. The next day, the tiny people forced Gulliver to work in the fields because his huge size made him very useful. While he was working, enemy assassins suddenly attacked the royal palace. The general quickly rushed back to rescue the princess and told everyone not to interfere because he wanted all the credit. However, one of the soldiers knew the general only wanted to look like a hero. He secretly removed Gulliver's chains and begged him to help save the princess. Gulliver reached the palace before anyone else, grabbed two assassins with his giant hands, and threw them into a nearby pond. By the time the general arrived, the fight was already over. The princess thanked Gulliver with all her heart. The king was trapped inside a palace that was on fire. He rushed into action and tried to pull the king out, but the flames burned his hand. Thinking quickly, Gulliver did something very strange. He pulled down his pants and pissed on the fire. The smell was terrible, but it quickly put out the flames and saved the king's life. The king wasn't angry at all. Instead, he thanked him for saving everyone and declared him the hero of the kingdom. That evening, the king held a grand feast in Gulliver's honor. The tiny people served him huge plates of food, but because Paul was so large, he ate everything in just a few bites. He joked that he was actually Ultraman and could defeat any monster that came his way. To reward him even more, the king built Gulliver a large house beside the sea. He lived a comfortable life with servants who made him coffee, gave him massages, and took care of him every day. He became the most famous person in the kingdom. But the general became extremely jealous. He couldn't stand seeing Gulliver receive all the attention. Secretly, he betrayed his own country by pitting down the kingdom's defenses and helping the enemy launch another attack. Soon, hundreds of enemy warships appeared and began firing cannons at the kingdom. The king asked Gulliver to save everyone again.